Bourbon Barkeep Lounge. It is House Call Wednesday. My name is Curtis, and thank you for coming back or showing up. So far, there is not a cover for this lounge. That would be nice, but YouTube says I need more people to watch, so there's no cover. We got that going for us. House Call Wednesday, we have just blinds. We got blind battles, and we pick 2 bottles that somehow, some way have something in common, and we blind them, we smell them and taste them, and then we say, you taste good or you taste bad. And so far, we have not had anybody submit a sample that tastes bad. So thank you for that so far. For the first person that does, in advance. No, well, maybe, I don't know. It depends on how bad. So without further ado, we'll go through the like, subscribe stuff. Somehow, some way that helps. It helps you stay connected, and it helps us know that you care enough to click a button. So that's where we're at. That's our relationship so far, is you clicking a button and saying, you Bourbon Barkeep, you keep it up. You keep the lights on. All the lights, as I've mentioned many times at this point. So we got glass A. I don't know what battle this is because it took me forever to set up today. I don't know why, it was just a day. But what better way to shake off the day than a blind pour of hopefully something good. So cheers, and we'll get into the nose. I like that a lot. It's like a Eggo waffle with maple syrup on it. Some butter. It's nice oak, maybe a freshly rained on oak whiskey barrel. I'm tempted to say buttered popcorn, but I don't know if that will stick around. It's faint enough to where I don't know if that will stick around. But that Eggo waffle, I mean, there's butter on it. We'll just stick with the waffle so far. Some clove and cherry. There's actually a lot going on in this nose. Yeah, I feel like that's enough. You don't actually have to dig too deep on what I was smelling, and by no means I feel like we have the relationship to where I can say I'm not a professional. That's shown up many times at this point, but it's a very approachable nose. Curious what we're going to be working with on the palate. Let's see. It's like a prune pie. I've never had a prune pie, but if I did, that's what it would taste like. Hangs around for a while. Very dark fruits, like a dark cherry, maybe a raisin. I feel like there's not a lot of people that are excited about prunes, so there's that. Faint cinnamon, so just a little bit of spice on the tongue, but overall it actually hangs on the tongue well. Finish, not a ton in the chest. Overall, decent. Let's see what sip 2 has and see if it kind of evolves a little bit more. Second sip, the cinnamon actually starts to come out more, which usually it's kind of flip-flop, right? You come into a pour, a little hot, you're like, holy hell. And then the second sip, it mellows out dramatically and you're like, what's the matter with me? Am I a man? This one kind of flip-flopped. Light cinnamon into a nice, maybe cinnamon bark sitting on the tongue. The finish still leaves a little bit to be desired. I mean, maybe 95 proof, 90 proof maybe. Couldn't be too high. That damp oak does start to come through a little bit more on the second sip. Do I like sucking on a piece of whiskey barrel that was left out in the rain? No. Is there a time and place for it? Probably not. But right now it's in my glass. A good pour, we'll just go with that and leave you on the cliff of where does it rank on the scoring system. Glass B. Ooh, that's a much sweeter nose. A lot of cherry, red cherry. And now it's nerds, strawberry nerds. Grape nerds join the party as well. Do they make a pink and grape anymore, or do I just pour them into a cup and shake them up and here we are? Gonna go honey, maybe a maple syrup. It's a pretty intense sweetness. This is one of those noses to where, could someone better than me tell you 20 different things? Yeah, absolutely. Probably not a high bar. But as soon as you would pour this into your glass, you could just stop at that pink and purple nerds. Nerds? Yeah, nerds. The tiny things. And say, that was enough, because it's so dominant. Maybe like some vanilla frosting, maybe on like a orange cake. But it's a lot of pink, purple, which I think is strawberry grape allegedly, nerds, and some citrus starting to come through. It's a great nose. I would pick at first sniff this nose over glass A. We'll see if the palate agrees. Cheers. That's nice. More of the same, a little bit more, maybe like a vanilla cake, vanilla frosting, or maybe like a buttercream coming through. There's something else there. It's just dancing around. Maybe I take a maraschino cherry, put it on said buttercream frosting and vanilla cake. Really nice pour. Still not a long finish. I would say glass A hangs on the tongue a little bit more, but you obviously have to like the tasty notes that I tried to communicate on glass A. Glass B here, still very sweet, not a ton of oak that I'm picking up here. Still just a great nose, great pour. And second sip, it starts to evolve a little bit more where maybe not that candied grape, but like a nice kind of fresh red grape starts to kind of come out. Some floral notes that are kind of nice, but I'm not a big floral guy, so I couldn't tell you what flower it is. Just like a nice hint of flower. A flower. A ripe, no, bloomed flower, right? Yeah, it's not dying. Once again, not a ton of oak that I'm picking up at least. It is a little bitter on like the sides of my tongue, but the nice sweetness is straight down the middle of, you know, some really nice fruit flavors. The sweetness, I would call it maybe like a honey. So not overly dominant or dark. It's just, I actually really like this one. So now you're asking yourself, where do we go from here? That's a great question, and you can ask it out loud next time. I'm going to sip A and B back to back, see if something changes. Has one opened up? Is glass A still like sucking a damp piece of wood? We shall see. Then I come back after a slick transition and score them. And surprise, surprise, someone wins and someone loses. I swear, someone loses. Slick transition time. Scoring time, Bourbon Barkeep Lounge. Thank you for sticking around so far. Upon further evaluation of glass A, a couple things opened up on it. The damp oak, like a lumber yard. It's a lot of wood and oak and sawdust. Let's see. Yeah, the waffle's gone. I really enjoyed that waffle too. Damn it. The sweetness is still there of maple. The problem is the waffle is now sawdust. Do I enjoy a trip to Home Depot? Yeah. My dad, I got kids, I'm in my 30s. Yeah, Home Depot, it's fantastic. Do I want to drink it? No, I don't. Scoring wise, man, I mean, it did evolve. So you lose a really great tasting note. Maybe does it evolve into something better that you like? Maybe. It's good. Will I reach for it? No, I don't think so. And when I say it's good, I mean it's pleasurable. 61. It's not, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, pleasurable is above highly average. It's fine. That's where we're at. Probably should change pleasurable to it's fine for how many times I just said that. Glass B. Loved Glass B. Yeah, that nose is like a beautiful grape bubblicious. Love it. Not much changed in it, kind of in a good way, because I like what I'm smelling and like what I'm putting in my mouth. What does score Glass B? It's above Glass A. I do know that. I don't love grapes, but I do in my whiskey apparently. And this is gonna get just a good 72. I do enjoy a little bit more of a Kentucky hug, if you will. It's very good. I don't know the price on this. Maybe it's a little lower. Maybe Glass A. I mean, it has the complexity of something that is higher price. I don't know. Doesn't mean it tastes any better, but it at least is a little more complex, if you will, than Glass B. Senses wise, not knowing price. Glass B takes it, and I would say it takes it handedly. I mean, it's 10 points is a large gap in the Bourbon Barkeep scoring system. What we also do is take bang for the buck into consideration to where if one of these is $200, I sure hope not. You know, we'll see where that kind of plays into it, but ultimately everybody has a budget. If you don't have a budget, then you can like, subscribe, and be done. Save yourself, I don't know, 5 minutes, maybe 3, maybe 10, I don't know. So now we approach the point of the episode where I look down a lot because I don't have these battles memorized. And if I did, then I guess that takes the surprise out of it. So there's also that hole I just punched in myself. But we have battle 202. Do I have over 200 battles in the Bourbon Barkeep Lounge? Apparently. Will there be more coming? Sadly, yes. Combinations, not episodes. I like that part of it. God, ramble. 202. So we have 41 of the vials at $55. And a trip to Home Depot sometimes does cost me more than $55. Do I want to drink my trip to Home Depot? No, not today. Number 24 is $40. That does not bode well for Glass A in this matchup where they have already lost the census category. Glass A, we'll just get right to it. I mean, $55. We'll just go 50. I don't need to be mean. It's not my flavor profile. If someone else wants to drink sawdust and Eggo waffles that rapidly disappear, be my guest. $50, I'm definitely not paying a dime more than $55. There we are. At $40 for Glass B, I would pay more than $40. I would definitely pay $55 if I'm staring at these two bottles on the shelf. We'll just go 70. Yeah, a great pour. I mean, you gotta like grape and strawberry and all the things, all the sweetness. But at 40, I mean, I'm not really looking for a super long finish at that point. So yeah, punches well above 70. Next, we do the reveal. So in our matchup of what is vial 41 and vial 24, we have Class A, we have J. Rieger Bottled and Bond at 100 proof, and that is a Kansas City local bottle. If you have not experienced the Bourbon Barkeep channel, Noah and myself are both in the Kansas City area. Yeah. I haven't been a huge fan of their bottom one. I have not had their Bottled and Bond in a very long time. And I may not again in a bit, which pains me to say because I do love supporting local distilleries especially. Damn it. Class B, Colonel E.H. Taylor. Buffalo Trace is tough to take down. I mean, let's just keep it at that. That being said, I would adjust the bang for the buck because you're not picking up Colonel. Let's use his title appropriately. We're not picking up Colonel at $40. You're probably not picking it up at $50. I did say I would pay more. So one of our affiliate partners is LoveScotch. The description's down below if you want to pick up either of these bottles. Bang for the buck does change on Colonel because it's not $40 and it's really not $50. I think the last time I picked up a bottle, it was $75. And I would pay that for the pour. So if I was scoring it at $75, bang for the buck drops to $55. I mean, is it worth the $100 that people are asking? No. Not a super finish at $100. I think it's like 6 years old. I know it's not age stated, but Rieger is 6, so maybe that's what brought it together, both Bottled and Bond. But man, did I hope that Rieger was a substitute or something, but it's not. The sweetness on the Buffalo Trace takes it, and I'm just sorry to Bourbon Barkeep Nation that we're just gonna have to keep searching for something that is better or just as good and widely available, and it's not Rieger. Didn't realize how close that plant was. Outside of that, like, subscribe. The totals have already been placed, so unshockingly, Class B still wins. I just don't know the total off the top of my head because I suck at math. That's why Noah's so valuable. Outside of that, thank you for tuning in again, and we'll see you on the next House Call Wednesday, and we'll see who comes out on top or loses. Maybe that's more entertaining. I don't know. Cheers.